Okay, so very good evening to all of you. Welcome to our event of importance of nutrition and exercise across all age groups. Okay, so I will just give a small introduction of Vani and then she can take it forward. So, Meta expert Vani Iyer, she's an experienced clinical dietitian and nutritionist with 6+ years of experience, specializing in chronic condition management, hormonal health, and postpartum weight management. So, she has helped countless women improve their health, manage PCOS, fertility issues, and metabolism changes, and adapt, sustainable nutrition and fitness habits for long-term well-being. So yeah, over to you, Vani. You can take it forward and help all of us, on how to maintain everyday health of us.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much for an amazing introduction. I'll just share my screen real quick and then I'll start. Yeah?
Yeah, sure. Shubhangi, you have raised your hand. You can drop your questions in the chat box and she'll answer all your queries in the end. Okay, thank you so much.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
All right then. Okay, so let me start by wishing you ladies a lovely Women's Day ahead, day after. And that's why I think we're all here, just marveling at the God's creation, the woman. I mean, who is a perfection in itself, isn't it? But also, I'd say she's not complete without a man, right? And otherwise, the cycle of life would not be complete. So, having said that, I mean, let's just dive into, understanding. Okay. Why is nutrition and exercise important for women? So, the role of diet and physical exercise in overall health. Why is it very important? Proper nutrition and regular exercise supports immunity, disease prevention, and overall well being in women. Differences in nutritional needs across life stages. So, women's nutrition requirements change with age, from growth and reproduction to menopause and aging. So there is a different requirement for each stage of life that we'll be diving into today. An impact on hormonal balance, metabolism, and longevity. A balanced diet, physical activity, regular, helps regulate the hormones, maintains metabolism, and promotes healthy aging. So all these things that we'll be talking today, let's dive into it. Let's understand. I think we need to maybe move this a little because I'm not able to read the headings. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see what are the different stages of women's life. I think we all understand as women, starting with the infancy and childhood, where the rapid growth and development happens. And then comes the adolescent age where puberty and hormonal changes are happening. Then after the childhood, or then after the adulthood, the stage where one is asked to, uh, be stable and responsible, and also focus on self growth, at the same time on health and also on the work life balance. So these are also the stages of the reproductive years of a woman's life. Then comes the perimenopause and menopause stage, with all the hormonal shifts and hot flashes that a woman goes through, and stress and irritation. And after all that stress and irritation, we welcome with warm heart our old age. So let's one by one get into the groove of what each stage has to offer and how we can deal with it and how we can improve the quality of our life in each stage. Okay. Going anywhere. Yes. So next is the first is infancy and childhood from 0 to 9 years. Early years are crucial for rapid growth, cognitive skills, and independence. I mean, independence I don't doubt about, because as children we're not given as much. Essential nutrients, if we talk about macros, would be proteins, healthy fats, and carbs. Micronutrients would be calcium, iron, vitamin D, and DHA. I think rest we would have heard of. What about DHA? Has anybody heard of DHA? DHA is an essential omega-3 fatty acid, very, very essential for the brain and eye development of the child. I think we would have heard or we would have seen the ads, Doodh ki Shakti Badhao, add DHA to your milk and DHA to your baby's diet for, better development for the ears. So DHA is that. And the food sources, the best food sources would be, I mean, for if I talk about the infancy in particular, so infancy is from 0 to 2 years of age. The best food could be the breast milk and the formula. Then post 6 months, the complementary feeding starts. And it is said complementary, it's because it is a complementary, as in we add it with the breast milk. So from 0 to 2 years, breast milk is a mandatory, but complementary feeding when it is start, you can start off with mashed fruits, vegetables, eggs, fortified cereals from maybe 2 years and beyond. Children from 2 years and beyond, dairy, lean proteins can be given, whole grains, nuts, seeds, a variety of colorful vegetables and fruits should be a part of the diet. Then certain common problems that we go through or see during infancy or childhood could be anemia. So this could be either due to low intake of iron or malabsorption. Maybe the body is not able to digest protein or digest any of the nutrients or digest iron, or if there is a lack of vitamin C along with the iron, then the absorption is poor, if the gut is poor. So these are the certain common reasons for anemia. Then rickets is a vitamin D deficiency, uh, could cause weak bones, some deformities such as maybe knock knees is very common, spinal deformities are very common, bowed legs are very common. So such deformities could happen due to the lack of vitamin D. Then malnutrition. So malnutrition could be either, so these there are two types of malnutritions. One is the undernutrition and one is the overnutrition. Mostly with kids there is undernutrition, but overnutrition is also observed these days due to a lot of formula feeding has been happening, a lot of Cerelac is being fed. Anything that is packaged, anything is in the packaged form is very harmful for the baby. So there was a study done which says women who has been feeding their kids like a packaged formula or packaged Cerelac, after a period of time, maybe at the age of 5 or 6 or 7, develop obesity. Okay, and then other nutrition where people, there is a poor absorption of nutrients, or diet is poor, or there is, stunted growth is seen. I mean, stunted growth is nothing but child is shorter than the age. Then there is weak immunity because of the poor diet. So all these things are the common reasons or the common problems that are seen during infancy and childhood. And the key health habits that can be taken care of during this time are balanced diet and hydration, supports energy, digestion, and brain function. So, brain development and overall generic body development is continuously happening from 0 to 9 years of age. So, brain development is the utmost of utmost importance during this time. So DHA, so vitamin D, so iron, so calcium is very much required, and protein of course is very much required by a child for its growth. Then physical activity, 60 minutes per day. So generally, if I talk about my own experiences these days with kids, uh, people are not very active. They're mostly prone to watching television throughout the day or staying indoors, or the child is the a woman is working and the husband is working as well, and they're kept to stay with their uh, grandparents. The grandparents are looking after, and of course they're of old age and they want to stay indoors, they have less of energy, and they're, the children are mostly kept with them, and then they are, not exposed to the outside world, not really burning their energies throughout the day, so they're almost awake at night, which also disturbs their hormones, and there's not proper growth seen in them. So a minimum of 60 minutes per day will help in strengthening of bones, improves coordination, and builds fitness. Limited screen time also encourages outdoor play, social skills development, and mental well-being. So for this age, the motto will be good nutrition plus active play equals to strong foundation for a lifelong health. So I think everything starts from these years of life, and then there is a strong foundation that is built for the coming stages of life. So this is not just for the woman; it's for general, man and woman both can consider this. But this is generally is what a child or goes through in the initial years, and what is required in the initial years for the development. I mean, if we just talk about children and the physical activity, so to say, strengthening bones, improving all of that can be done by, either you do cycling or you do dancing or brisk walks or running or skipping or climbing. So these all activity are very essential to start in childhood. To encourage, one can encourage your kids to do all these activities. Then comes adolescent. I think the most beautiful, also critical, also transitioning, and also very, uh, confused, I would say, part of the stage of life is adolescent, from 10 to 18 years. These days, as the studies are going on, the adolescent age is also almost about touching about 8 years, but 10 to 18 years is generally the adolescent age, brings physical, emotional, hormonal changes. Onset of puberty happens here, shaping self identity and reproductive health. Essential nutrients, yes, protein, healthy fats, complex carbs. So earlier we talked about general carbs, anything that is easy to digest, brings energy to the body, are very good. But here, complex carbs, since there is hormonal shift, there is a lot of changes happening in the body, either pubic hair growth or development of the body is happening. So that is very much required. Okay, here macros are protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs. Micronutrients are iron, calcium, and vitamin D. As 90% of peak bone mass is acquired by the age of 18. So here, since we talk about the bone mass, so the bone formation and the complete body structure of the woman is formed almost formed by the age of 18 years, whereas in the boys it is, or in the men it is very different, since they are increasing on height, so that is a little delayed. But for women, 90% it is the peak. I mean, after that I think there is no uh, lengthening of the bone, or the bone matrix is formed by that time. And then there is a need, a requirement of folates, since menstruation starts here, and zinc and vitamin K. So all of this happens. Coming to the food sources, so dairy, eggs, green leafies, nuts, seeds, whole grains, lean meats, all are very essential during this time. Common problems that are seen generally during this time is iron and calcium deficiency. So if I just take a minute and talk about puberty. So here in this time, puberty hits, and with all the hormonal changes, menarche, that is the first menstrual period, starts, which is also marked by the start of the reproductive years that is happening here. uh, since menstruation happens, a lot of iron is depleted during this time. A lot of iron leaches out of the body due to that. and calcium deficiency. Since there's a lot of requirement for calcium and iron during this times, a deficiency, or I mean, women can go to vitamin B12 deficiency, or they can become anemic either by uh, folate deficiency or iron deficiency or B12 deficiency, or they could develop some deficiency anemias also due to this, the start of menarche. And unhealthy weight changes or poor metabolism can happen, as we see the pictures above. A child eating burgers, so this is the time when we either make or break, right? So this is where you make a healthy lifestyle, you make your healthy choices also. If you have to take your greens, or you have to maybe jump on or hog on that burger right now, that is appetizing, and then there's mood change, and understanding of what changes are happening in the body, be it hormonally or physiologically. It's very confusing. As I said, it's the confusing state where you are transitioning from that childhood to that stage where mummy says कि बेटा एक और चम्मच घी डाल देती हूँ, and you say कि नहीं नहीं मम्मी मैं तो मोटी हो रही हूँ, right? So that could also be leading to your calcium deficiency. So I think yeah. So coming to moving forward, the key healthy habits could be uh, healthy adapting to healthy eating habits, then mindful screen use and outdoor plays. So encourages activity, active play, social engagement and mental health, regular exercise and sports, so minimum of 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous daily activities. Encourage team sports or dance or swimming, cycling. All of these would be great for maintaining the hormone balances. So whenever you are into the adolescent, the premium years of your life, I think your bone is forming, your body is changing, all of small small things are happening within your body, and your understanding of your body eventually starts to increase during this time. The best help during this time is opting for a healthy diet, because this is the prime stage where you will if you're eating too much or eating too unhealthy, or you're taking all those talawa food and those trans fat inside, could be very problematic at the age of 40 or 50. Okay, so this is the time when you shape your body in a way, with the help of nutrition and with the help of exercise, like proper exercise, aerobic exercises, or cycling or swimming, where you can, have a good or a healthier future. So the motto here is nutrition plus movement equals a stronger and healthier you. Moving ahead, adulthood, I think the primes that we are, I think we go through and we are all in, involves stability and responsibility, as I think I had spoken earlier about. Uh, the key life roles happen during this time. We are focused in self growth and health and work life balance, and reproductive health is during this time, and lactation is during this time, and career is there and whatnot. और इस सब में हम लोग, you have to focus on ourselves as well. I mean, poor women, come on. So essential nutrients here are lean proteins, healthy fats, fiber-rich carbs. So we've been talking about generic carbs, we've been talking about complex carbs. Now we talk about fiber-rich carbs. Uh, Fiber-rich carbs also associate with the antioxidant properties of it. So micronutrients do have iron, B vitamins, all sorts of B vitamins, and antioxidants and omega 3s. Along with it, I would recommend vitamin D as well, because we as women are always short of iron and vitamin D or B12s in our diet. So vitamin D, iron, and omegas should be checked upon. Food sources are whole grains, fish, nuts, seeds, legumes, all sorts of colorful vegetables. So all the colorful vegetables, the more the colorful vegetables, the more the variety of vegetables or fruits, the more the antioxidant in your body. And the common problems that we generally face during this time from 19 to 40 years of age is iron deficiency, uh, vitamin B12 and D deficiency, where you generally see कि घुटनों में दर्द हो रहा है, there's a knee pain or there is an ankle pain or there's a joint pain, ligament pain, your hands are trembling, your hair is falling, there's a breakout happening, or all sorts of back acne that are happening, and then you maybe due to the uneating due to the habits, the unhealthy habits that have been formed maybe in the adolescent. Then there is the scope of PCOS, which is the polycystic ovarian syndrome, which are basically enlarged ovaries with some smaller cyst. This could be a cause of poor eating habits or lifestyle changes during the adolescent that have happened. And then gut issues. I think every one of us have either some abdominal pain or bloating or acidity issue, diarrhea, constipation, or IBS or heartburn. I mean, after you have food, there is constant burping, heartburn, or certain kind of an intolerance, maybe a lactose intolerance or a gluten intolerance. You name it, you have it. I think you would have seen it in your day-to-day life. Sitting and farting and burping is so very common. Okay, so but I mean, my concern is, why is all of this happening to us? I mean, we have been consistently following our regular routine and regular ghar ka khana and healthy eating, and we are having this roti and rice and chapati and sabzi also we are taking, but and rajma also we are taking, and dal also we are taking, and whatnot. Matlab, you name it and we have it. But why is this still happening? It is because there is some sort of changes that have been happening. I mean, our nutrient requirements change during the years, so some modifications that have happened. Also, not everything is organic these days, so we tend to weekends are mostly our snack times and evenings are mostly our munch times. And then we say कि हमने तो morning में we've had good food, and then evening में dinner may we've had good food and we eat good lunch, but still certain things are actually happening with us. So poor diet being one of the reasons, lifestyle changes, transitions over the period are one of the reasons, unhealthy eating habits, as I discussed, is one of the reasons. Timings. So we say we are having good food and everything we are having is healthy, but sometimes so happens we are awake up till late at night, and we are maybe waking up late, and our circadian rhythm is disturbed. And we don't have a proper schedule, we don't have a proper timing. Or maybe so to say, we are having too much of caffeine in a diet. So a chai or a coffee, I am sure many of us would not be really happy with the term, having coffee and chai in our diet is a problem. But actually, if I'd say, it's not your energy booster for the day. It will give you that kick for the moment that you're awake. Chai se, I have heard people saying कि चाय से ही मेरी आंख खुलती है, right? So chai is not your आंख खोलने का machine, and coffee is not your kickstart of the day, and coffee is not your immunity booster, definitely not, or your energy booster, I would say, because it actually makes you dehydrated. Consuming it in higher volumes, I would say 2 to 3 times a day, or even more, or maybe having espresso shots, very heavy espresso shots. I've seen people taking that. So doing that also is very harmful for your liver, harmful for your gut. It makes your gut weaker, hinders in iron and calcium absorption as well. So generally for women, if I say, if you're taking 2 to 3 cups of chai, please reduce it down to one. If you are taking 1 cup of chai and a big cup of chai, please reduce it down to a chota cutting chai. And have more of iron rich foods in your diet. So sometimes it also, as I was telling, hinders in the nutrient absorption, dehydrates you. So have a lot of water if you're having chai, and if you have habit of having chai or coffee more often during the day, have a lot of water as well. So these are the problems that are generally seen when one is addicted to such things, and lifestyle is not proper and gut is not proper. So these are the problems that is generally seen. Okay, what all things can be taken care of? So key habits that can be adapted. So hydration and gut health. Uh, Drink plenty of water and include probiotics for digestion. So probiotics are अपना जो देसी वाला versions हैं, could be curd or lassi or cheese also. Then sour cream you can go for, kimchi you can go for, pickles जो अपने fermented foods हैं, that has great amount of probiotic in them. Pickles is one. Tempeh, then kombucha, sourdough breads have probiotics, great bacterias in them, good bacterias for the gut. Then also including fibers. So whenever you are eating your meal, so to say, you have roti and you have dal and you have sabzi, but along with that, if you have a lot of salad, so to say, you add some sprouts and cut some veggies, maybe just 2 to 3 different veggies. You have that first, and then you go for your roti, dal, sabzi. That will kickstart your gut or kickstart your digestion, and it always includes a lot of bacterias for the better digestion. And then you can end up with a bowl of curd or maybe lassi for adding probiotics to your diet. Then stress management, practice mindfulness, meditation, or hobbies to reduce anxiety. Sometimes I see people making mandalas or reading self-help books. So these hobbies could also help in reducing stress and anxiety. Meditation, I would say, is one key element. I think everybody needs it these days. Everybody has some stress. I think in the mornings I generally see women not really feeling hungry and rushing onto things. Please take a breather. Please relax for some time. Take 5 to 10 minutes for your own self. Relax your mind. Maybe do some positive affirmations. Take positive affirmation and then start your day. Okay, so that will really help with the stress management. Quality sleep. Okay, we as women are always in a rush. I think we end up, making everybody sleep. Everybody's in their bed settled, everybody's peaceful, and then we tend to go to sleep and then wake up early before everybody else, so that we are prepped before everybody's woken up. So prioritize your sleep as well, women. Ensure at least 7 to 9 hours of rest for recovery and cognitive function. uh, Routine health checkups are very important. Monitor key markers like blood pressures, cholesterol, and vitamin levels. Work life balance. Prioritize self care and social connections for well being, mental well being. Digital detox. I think these days we are all on Instagram or social media scrolling through, and ek ghanta, 2 ghanta kab it flies off, we don't know. So reduce your exposure to blue light and excessive social media use. Regular exercise or physical activity would be very much required during this stage of life in particular. At least 150 minutes of moderate intense exercise per week is recommended. Aims for strength training, cardio for heart health, and muscle maintenance. So if I talk about 150 minutes, that is nothing but 30 minutes in 5 days. So 30 minutes into 5 days is nothing. So I think minimum of 30 minutes you can, this is the bare minimum one can do for themselves. So 30 minutes you can do. Just start, don't have to do strength training or a lot of muscle maintenance exercise. Just start with a basic brisk walk, or if possible, if you have cycles, go for cycling, or you can do an indoor dance or an aerobics or a zumba class for yourself. Just give yourself the time for 30 minutes, or if you can do, you can go for swimming also. But make sure that there is some intensity involved in it, so that it also regulates your metabolism. It also regulates the blood throughout the body, the blood circulation is maintained. Okay, so this is the bare minimum I think we could do for ourselves, right? So here the motto would be balanced life equals healthier, a healthier, happier, and more productive. Moving ahead with pregnancy and lactation. So, demands optimal nutrition for maternal health, fetal growth, and infant nourishment. Essential nutrients here. I think here it is a diversified, mix of the nutrients. Proteins, obviously, for each stage of life. I think protein is one very dominant requirement. Healthy fats, complex carbs, and hydrating fluids. Micronutrients, folic acid, prevents the neural tube defect. Iron, calcium, vitamin D, omega 3s, choline, DHA, zinc. So if I talk about in detail regarding this, so iron, as I've been already talked about, folic acid prevents neural tube effect. Iron supports the blood volume, and it also takes the nutrients from the mother's body to the supply to the placenta, so placental development happens there. Calcium for mothers, for the mother, as well as for building the skeletal bones or the bones of the baby. Vitamin D is very, very important. It's not just a vitamin, it also acts as a hormone. So vitamin D and omega 3 for the proper functioning of hormones and fetal development or the brain development is very important. Choline, I think this would be a very new term for most of us. So choline is one major source. The major source of choline is fish and egg, basically egg yolk. Very, very important during pregnancy. Helps in cognitive development of the baby, as well as fat metabolism of the pregnant woman, and DNA formation of the baby. So it's very important that one have choline. If you are not taking choline in the from a non-vegetarian source, flax seeds are a great source of choline and omega 3. DHA, I think, as we've already talked about, and zinc is a very, very important nutrient that is required. Then the good sources of all these are dairy, green leafies, lean meats, eggs, fish, citrus fruits. Vitamin C also is one great source, builds immunity. Nuts can be taken. So common problems, what we see during pregnancy is gestational diabetes. So if somebody who already has, a family history of diabetes or has been diabetic before pregnancy, could develop gestational diabetes. Anemia, I think we've been talking about this from the very beginning. So anemia could happen, or folic acid deficiency can happen. Excessive weight gain can happen if not monitored properly, if the calories are not balanced, if there is excess sweet sugar cravings, if and uncontrollable eating is happening. So excessive weight gain can happen. Calcium and vitamin D deficiency can happen. Low milk supply, so this is for lactation. So if the nutrients are not balanced, if somebody who's had a c-section, so to say, somebody who's had a c-section, initially you will see there is a low milk supply, and gradually it increases if you have a good diet. Then weakness is one thing very common during pregnancy, during lactation, due to hormonal changes have been happening. Hormonal shifts are seen. So this is a very common thing that is seen in both pregnancy and lactation. So the key healthy habits which we can incorporate is nutrient rich diet. Prioritize protein, iron, calcium, folate, DHA for a baby's growth. Then hydration is very, very important during this time. Hydration and digestion, drink plenty of water for adequate AFI. So amniotic fluid, if it is less, then there'll be a risk to the fetal for the baby. And even if it is way too more, then also it is a risk to the baby. It's because the fluid may go to its lungs. So adequate amount of water should be taken for adequate to maybe normalize the AFI levels, and include fiber rich foods for the gut, as I talked about, having a bowl of salad before you going on to the proper meal. Then adequate rest and stress management, prioritize sleep and relaxation for recovery and well-being. Gentle exercises, opt for walking, prenatal and postnatal yoga, stretching to boost circulation and strength. 150 minutes here, exactly the same as the entire adulthood, as 150 minutes we talked about. A moderate intensity aerobic exercises, anything that requires breathing a lot. Aerobic exercises weekly would be very helpful. Here the motto is healthy mom equals healthy baby. Coming to perimenopause, I think this is one phase that has irritated everybody, every woman from maybe post 40, as it's mentioned 45 to 50, but I think post 40 we are now able to see some hormonal shifts happening, and a transition phase. So as it says, it marks the transition phase to menopause, with hormonal shifts causing irregular cycles and other symptoms like hot flashes. Essential nutrients here, again, protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Micronutrients, calcium, here is a new nutrient, I think new terms you'll be seeing. Magnesium, vitamin D, and phytoestrogens. So phytoestrogens, I mean, if we talk about perimenopause and menopause, phytoestrogens, from the name itself, says adding estrogens. Okay, so phytoestrogens is nothing but uh, if, since your body is entering to that phase where your cycles are quite irregular, and maybe in the menopause, after your menopause, it will gradually reduce or it will shut down. Okay, so for that you need external estrogen, or there'll be a decrease in the progesterone and estrogen, so you need an external source to balance that. So phytoestrogens, and what are phytoestrogens and how can you get it? Phytoestrogens are nothing jo bhi aapke uh, the maximum colorful vegetables, soy, I mean the food sources are mentioned here: soy products, dairy, nuts, seeds, whole grains, cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are those very rich in your nutrients, like or maybe if I talk about the specifics, uh, uh, it's kale or broccoli or turnip or uh, spinach. These are very these have high content of phytoestrogens in them, and soy also. So anybody who does not have thyroid are absolutely recommended to have soy and cruciferous vegetables during premenopause and menopause. Somebody who has thyroid must avoid all of these and have a proper checkup with their respective doctors, and have a proper diet made up for them, because you'll be going through this phase, and you have to keep a check how you can balance your hormones as well, barring your thyroid. So I think a proper diet and a proper checkup is required by the doctor. The common problems here could be osteoporosis. Declining of estrogens could cause this. Osteoporosis is nothing but your bone marrow depleting. So your bone, there is a lot of calcium that leaches out of your bone during that time to maybe fulfill the other requirements of the body. Then sudden weight gain happens. Metabolism slows down. Heart, there's a risk for cardiac diseases or heart health, and hot flashes and mood swings. So if we talk about the risk for heart diseases, it is primarily due to the depletion or the decline of estrogen and progesterone, because estrogen is one very key hormone that supports your heart health, supports your blood vessels, and regulates your uh, cholesterol in your body. So that is very, very important. So I mean, enjoy while you are, not hit your perimenopause and menopause. Also, have a proper diet and make sure you're keeping a check on whatever you're putting inside your mouth. You have to have those green leafies, and you have to have those colorful vegetables that your body's already prepared when you hit a certain age, right? So key health habits here would be balanced nutrition. So protein. So by this time, 1% per year of muscle loss is seen after 30, and it is very rapid and very excessive once you hit 40 and 45. Uh, then calcium, vitamin D, and phytoestrogens, like as I talked about, soy and flax seeds have for hormonal balance. And limit sodium intake. So anything that is, table sugars and table salts is something I don't endorse much. But you can always limit them. Do not avoid them, because it is also very important for your iodine requirement. So white salt, iodized salt is very much required. Maybe you put once or twice while you're cooking in the meals. Other than that, pink salts or Himalayan salts can be used in the form of, chaat masalas, or something you can put otherwise. And no extra salt should be added, otherwise, or ऊपर से कुछ भी नहीं डालना चाहिए हमें अपने खाने में other than whatever is being cooked. So that would be recommended. And regular exercise, so strength training. If one could start strength training during this time, or maybe could start early on as well, would be recommended. And weight bearing activities to support bone and muscle health. Then hormonal and health monitoring to track bone density, heart health, and hormone levels. So here the motto is smart life choices, a smoother transition. Coming to menopause, that is 50 plus years, uh, marks the natural end of the menstruation, bringing hormonal shifts that impact the bone health, metabolism, and overall well-being. So this is nothing, see, whatever we end up understanding about the many menopause, it is exactly a wider version of it, or a more so this is a cute version and the chronic version, as we talk in the medical terms, right? So it is just an elevated version of it. So here also calcium is required, vitamin D is required, omega 3s are required, antioxidants are required in abundance. You'll get it from the dairy, fatty fishes if you're a non-vegetarian, nuts if you're not a non-vegetarian, uh, and seeds, berries, green leafy vegetables. More the greener, the better. More the colorful, the better. Common problems, as we discussed: osteoporosis, weight gain, slower metabolism, risk of heart diseases, hot flashes, and mood swings. Uh, Key health habits, again, support your bone and joint health. Increase calcium and vitamin D. Sometimes so happens is we are doing everything on our end, but still we see iron is not, our HB is not getting to its normal uh, range, or our vitamin D, even if we have a lot of I mean, हम धूप में भी खड़े होते हैं, vitamin D हम be it from dietary sources we are taking, but we are not able to you know uh, somehow complete the requirement of it. Sometimes you need to rely on some sort of supplementation. So if at all you have reached that stage where your body is uh, exhausted of all these things, supplementation really helps. Make sure you are under the guidance of your doctor or your healthcare expert. So calcium, vitamin D, magnesium intake to prevent osteoporosis. Cognitive function, engaging in mental exercises. Take omegas and antioxidant rich food sources or supplements. Emotional well-being and sleep, prioritize stress reduction, sleep quality, and relaxation techniques. Heart and hormonal care, monitor cortisol levels, blood pressure, and adapt heart-friendly lifestyle. Here the motto would be embrace change with strength and wellness. Old age. Uh, 60 plus years. So, old age in women is marked by reduced hormonal levels, bone health concerns, and a focus on maintaining mobility and vitality. So, here the macronutrients would be protein, healthy fats, uh, easy digestible carbs, as whatever is had by the child initially is also given in the old age, with some extra supplemental help, vitamin B12, magnesium, potassium, fiber. The sources are dietary, dairy, lean meats, legumes, banana, whole grains, soft fruits. Common problem here are also osteoporosis led by fractures sometimes, sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is nothing but muscle loss that rapidly happens during this time. Hydration, dehydration, and constipation. I think constipation pito. There's also a movie. The entire concept is made movie. I think everybody would have seen Piku. So constipation is very common cause, very common symptom, or very common problem seen in the old age. Then key health habits. Nutrient dense diet, focus on the protein, fiber, calcium, and antioxidants for overall health. Stay active, engage in low impact exercises like general walking, brisk walking, yoga, or strength training as per body's ability to do it, for the mobility. Cognitive and emotional well-being, so keep the mind sharp by reading, doing some puzzles or social engagement. Regular health checkups, monitor bone density, then heart health and vision for the early intervention. Here, the motto will be healthy aging equals to independence and vitality. Here are some lifestyle and preventive care. So, lifestyle preventive care is very crucial for women's well being at every stage of life. It includes regular screening, healthy lifestyle choices, and early detection to improve the longevity and the quality of life. So, regular nutritional assessment, be it the BMI, BMR, body composition, the dietary analysis to prevent malnutrition or obesity. Generic blood tests to detect nutrition deficiencies could be iron and hemoglobin, uh, just a normal CBC to screen the anemia, vitamin D and calcium to screen bone health, vitamin B12 and folate for energy levels, to check in on the energy levels and nerve function, blood sugar levels to detect diabetes risk, cholesterol and lipid profile for heart health. Bone health screening, a DEXA scan is a great option to assess the risk of osteoporosis, especially after or during menopause. Heart health screening, so blood pressure checks, and a cardiovascular risk assessment. So a normal 2D echo would be one assessment tool for the to elevate the to avoid the risk of cardiovascular diseases. Then hormonal and metabolic health checks, a thyroid function test, PCOD, PCOS screening. So, a general ultrasound can be done, or pelvic scan can be done, and a generic hormonal profile can be done, women hormonal profile, which includes like LH, FSH, prolactin, such hormones, and a metabolic rate evaluation can be done to prevent all such uh, nutrition assessment can be done to prevent all such disease deficiencies during the lifespan. And this is a general topic, mindful eating, for all, not just for the women but also for the men listening here. Mindful eating should be practiced is based on mindfulness. It is a Buddhist concept. It involves paying closer attention to your food and how it makes you feel. So it is a technique that actually helps you better understand your food, better understand your eating habits as well. Promotes weight loss, or maybe I mean, not weight loss but maintain your optimum weight, reduces binge eating, and also helps you feel better. So, what all things are involved in mindful eating. Eating slowly and without distraction. So if you are mostly, we generally tend to have a habit of, watching TV or watching screens while eating, so that should be avoided. um, then listening to physical hunger cues and eating only until you are full, and distinguishing between true hunger and non-hunger triggers of eating. Sometimes we are thirsty, and instead of having water we tend to, munch on something. So it's very important to listen to our hunger pangs and hunger cues. Okay, engaging your senses by noticing color, smell, sounds, texture, and flavors. Eating to maintain overall health and well-being. Noticing the effects of food has on your, how the food makes you feel and how it makes your body feel overall. That has to be seen, and appreciating your food. So all these are, some important things that we should be seeing on a day-to-day life while we are, eating. We should practice mindful eating. And as Melinda Gates says, investing in women's health and nutrition isn't just the right thing to do, it is a smart thing to do. And I absolutely agree with her. I hope you all as well. Thank you so much. And now I am going to put a poll. So if anybody has any questions, you can start with that.
We have two questions in the question and answer box. You can check that. And others, you can ask your questions now in the chat box. You can put your questions and she can answer it. Are you able to read or should I help you?
Yeah. Just a second.
Okay.
I've opened the chat box though. There's nothing on it. Just a second. Okay, if you could maybe read the questions, because I don't.
So there's only one.
Okay.
Someone wants to know the options for DHA.
Okay, so DHA, omega 3s, if you are a non vegetarian, fish is one great option. Flax seeds are a good option. And, all the fats, ghee you can include in your diet, and you can include nuts like walnuts and almonds and pistachios. So, pistachio also helps in the brain development of the baby. So, if any pregnant woman is having pistachios, or if a baby, or maybe in the childhood, if you give your kid some pistachios on a regular basis, maybe 5 to 7 on a regular basis, and some soaked and peeled almonds and some soaked walnuts, I think it'll be a great source of omega 3s. Yeah, I see.
Next, there is one question. During lactation, how do we maintain hygiene for UTI? I have suffered twice until now.
Oh, okay. So first thing, stay hydrated. Keep Have plenty of water. Also, your toiletry habits should be well maintained. So if at all you have had UTI before, make sure you're keeping that area. You're keeping that area dry. So clean it thoroughly with water. Wash it off. With maybe lukewarm water, and then pat it dry. So if you keep that area dry, it will maintain its hygiene on its own, as that area is a self-cleansing area of our body, right? So it'll cleanse itself. Make sure your food intake is optimum and your liquid intake is good. So that is how you can maintain it.
Next is how often we have to go for full body checkup for vitamin and calcium after 30s.
After 30s, I would say every 6 months. So I mean, if you are absolutely fine with your reports and you're on your toes with all the right nutrition that you have, if that is happening, then maybe once in a year. If that is not the case, if you have any deficiency and if you have gotten that detected once, you should go for it at least once in 6 months.
Someone has asked, Tejashri has asked, brain boosting food for kids.
Oh yeah, now I can see. I think after
Okay.
brain boosting foods, I'm able to.
Great.
So yes, Brain boosting food for kids, as I was talking about, all the nuts. I think I have just spoken. So all the nuts are amazing. If you are a non-vegetarian, then fish is good. Lean meats are good. Then I mean, pistachio is one great food. Berries, all the antioxidant rich, as I was talking about, the vibrant the colors, the better. So blueberries, walnuts, pistachios, uh, spinach are great brain boosting foods. Okay, food we must include on a regular basis after 40s. Okay, so this is a good question. After 40s, there are certain things that you must be including in your diet. First, I think I had talked about perimenopause and menopause. So magnesium was one prominent thing that we had seen, right? So if in the form of supplement also, if you want to include magnesium, would be great. Foods to include would be, if you're not a diabetic, then banana is a great option. Anything that regulates, your potassium levels would be great. So all the nuts and the berries are one great option. Then normally, in terms of vegetables, if we talk about, if you are not if you don't have thyroid, then broccolis, kales, spinach, the green leafy family is a great option. And soy as well. I think soy is required during that time for balancing estrogen. So that is also a great option. Okay, then specific supplements recommended for kids and 30 plus women. For men and women, I could say 30 plus women, men and women. For men also, if somebody is listening to this one, men also, zinc is one great option. Vitamin D supplements on a regular basis is a great option. For women, magnesium is a great option. Magnesium supplements, or I think during this COVID time, we had all started taking Zincovet in our day to day life. So that is one great option. Vitamin D supplements on a regular basis. Maybe if even if you're not, your vitamin D is not low, it is in the optimum range, maybe taking that once in a month also would be a great habit. Omega 3 supplements could be taken. And you know iron, you can keep your iron in check. So if at all your HB levels are absolutely fine, then there is no need to take. But if at all your HB level anyways drop down, I mean in your 30s also drops below 12, or maybe 13 like 11.5 or 11, then you need to definitely consult with your doctor and start taking iron supplements as well. So I think supplements are clear for both men and women. For kids, kids specifically, I would not recommend any particular supplements. It's mostly recommended by the pediatrician. But if you are to start off with any supplement, I think any kid friendly DHA powders, seeing its sugar levels, because if at all we see Horlicks or Bonvita these days have a lot of sugar in it. So anything that has DHA in it and also does not have a lot of sugar would be recommended. uh, Thank you so much. Okay, is HPV vaccine mandatory? Okay, great. So HPV vaccine is not very mandatory, but if you get it, and if you see, I mean, all of us would have heard of prevention is better than cure. So if we get ourselves tested on a regular basis and we know that we are not, you know, in contact with such, and our environment is neat and clean and we are maintaining our hygiene, I don't think so. It's very mandatory at a point till some certain age, but also this needs a proper consultation and a proper guidance from like with the doctor. Okay. And if at all you need to consult regarding this, I think doctor would be one person who could give you a better advice. But for a certain years, it is not very mandatory. Maybe post 30, you might, get the strains of it, HPV virus. So you might get the strains of it. I think that time is the time after 30, the transition when it's happening. That is the time when you frequently consult with your doctor. If you frequently, get active with your health. So that is the time. So how, I think, hope that was sufficient for the answer. How to maintain thyroid and heart heat in the body. Okay, thyroid and heat. I mean, I hope this is a question particular to somebody who has thyroid, because maintain thyroid and heat in the body. So if you are having thyroid, I think someone has asked Sona, right? Sonal, Sonia, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So somebody who has thyroid, you can, one thing would be great option for you. You can include methi. No, sorry, dhania seed. So dhania seed water can be included in your diet. So in the morning, if you at night only, if you can soak, 1 teaspoon of dhania seeds into almost about 200 300 ml of water, and keep it soaked overnight, have it in the morning, empty stomach, chew some dhania seeds, then spit it out. I think that would be great. That would also maintain your, you know body heat, blood circulation. And you can also, for excessive heat in the body, you can also start uh, with having fennel seed water. So since abhi garmiyan aa rahi hain, so boil some fennel seeds in water, put it in the fridge, have it as a coolant. Eat a lot of fibrous vegetables and fruits. Fibrous vegetables, I say, if you could have kakdi, or you could have kheera, cucumber, that would be great. Thyroid I have covered. Being a vegetarian, what are the good foods?
Vani, we'll take 5 more minutes of questions. Yeah, the session is almost over, but a lot of
Right.
questions. So we'll
Yeah,
take,
I see
yeah,
there
we'll take it up till
a
two,
lot of
3 minutes
repeated
more, and
questions
we'll end it.
also
Yeah.
on thyroid, I believe. uh, Yeah. So anything else? Are there any chances of hormonal imbalance if protein supplements are taken in the form of protein shakes, especially sorry, it's moving, especially in its whey protein? See, depends on what kind of a protein is it. So if you're just talking about the whey protein, uh, imbalances in hormones, depending on if you're working out or not, how much muscle mass do you have in the body. So if that much, whatever protein that you are taking as a our external source in the form of whey, if that is sufficient, or that is more, or that is less, this is a particular question I actually can't answer, because I don't really know your entire day's menu or plan. So if you talk to me about the hormonal imbalances that a specific protein supplement can cause, no, it will not. It will really support your metabolism. But if it is in excess with whatever nutrition or proteins in generic you are taking from your diet, then definitely it could cause some hindrance. How to increase memory after 35s? Okay, great question. So memory, not any specific food can endorse it. I mean, some nuts would help. But if you want to, if I talk on this from do I also have a yoga background, so if I talk about this from a yogic point of view, there is one pranayam called Brahmari. So I think if you practice Brahmari, that has done wonders with improving memory. And in Ayurveda, there is also a supplement you can take called Brahmi. So both these things go hand in hand. Brahmi and Brahmari will help in the improvement of memory. Okay, I have so many questions here.
I know, just choose one, the last
Okay.
one, and then we
Yeah,
can,
will diet alone
wrap it up.
suffice for calcium after menopause? So after menopause, so happens that your body is, there is muscle loss and there is bone density loss, that it automatically leaches out. It starts leaching out of your, teeth decay happens and your bone decay happens. So diet alone might not be the only thing that actually helps. But if you are, taking everything, if you have managed your perimenopause with a better bone density, with the workouts, and taking good care of yourself with, be it on the food perspective wise, I'm talking about. If you have maintained that, I think post menopause also, for a lot many years, will be able to handle it. Maybe once you hit 60s, and there's a lot of depletion happening in the body, that time you might need supplements. So it varies. If there is a lot of demineralization happening in the body, you might need it. So hence, I think I had mentioned about the DEXA scan. So I think post 40 you should go for a DEXA scan. And if you are already above 50 and you've reached your menopause, then you should go for one and understand your uh, you know your structure of your bone and how much mineral does it contain. And post that, you can decide and consult with a doctor or with a nutritional expert if you require any supplementation for calcium. Okay.
Thanks, Vani. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for, amazing questions. So I'll be thanking Vani and Mamili both for, this amazing session. And if you guys want to connect with her or, want answers for these kind of questions, you can ask your HR to connect to IMT Care. We can give you access to Mamili and you can get all your answers regarding the parenting and regarding all of these questions to you, right? So yes, get in touch with us. We will get you all the access you need for all of these questions, because obviously we understand you have a lot of questions which cannot be answered in one session in just 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much, Vani. Thank you. And
For having us.
have a very, I'll want to tell you that a happy Women's Day in advance to everyone and all of you. Uh, so yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the session. Thank you. And have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing Women's Day. And
You
yeah,
too.
let's celebrate each other and everyone around us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Right. Bye bye.